Liam Harrison is a Muay Thai fighter from the UK, fighting out of the Bad Company gym in Leeds. He is currently signed to the Asia-based promotion One Championship, where Muay Thai fighters fight in 4-ounce MMA gloves. Liam is one of, if not the best fighters to come out of the UK. He has been competing at the top of the sport for nearly 2 decades, fighting the biggest names across multiple weight classes around the world. His resume is a who's who of big names in the sport, and Liam has won more fights than most Westerners have had fights in their whole career. With nearly half of his wins coming by way of knockout, he's exciting to watch and garnered a big following in the UK. Being one of the few UK fighters that could successfully compete with top Thais, he has played a part in helping the sport grow in the UK, raising the overall level. So what makes Liam Harrison so good? How has he stayed on top for so long? What are his fighting tactics? Liam is probably best known for his devastating low kicks, having stopped a lot of top fighters with the technique. His kick to the leg is sharp and snappy, and he will often kick at an upward angle instead of turning the leg over, making the kick faster and without telegraph. Although Liam has become known as a finisher, a hard-hitting fighter, it's really been his clever counter-fighting that has enabled him to compete at the highest level. He will often go on the back foot and allow his opponents to lead, doing half the work for him by bringing themselves into range, and Liam will use this opportunity to land his own work. He builds a lot of his work through chipping away at his opponents as they come in, and this is a prevalent method for setting up his low kick. When someone comes into box, their weight will be on their lead leg, planting it into the floor, meaning they cannot lift it to block. Liam will allow his opponent to come in with hands, covering up tight or using a long guard, and then chop the leg as they do. This was a mistake that proved costly for world champion Andrei Kulubin. Kulubin was using the jab and pulling with the lead hand to find his range. Every time he did this, he gave a free shot to Liam, who took the opportunity to boot his leg off. By the time Harrison is landing combinations and coming forward on the front foot, setting up his low kicks with fast hands, the damage has already been done by the counter kicking. The other weapon Harrison is most renowned for is his left hook. He sets this up in a variety of ways, but again, like his low kick, a lot of his success has come from using it as a well-timed counter. He will often catch and counter hook as the opponent is punching, or time them throwing a kick or knee, catching them coming in. This is often the one the opponent won't see coming, so it will hurt them most, and Liam has had some great KO wins this way. The technique on the punch is picture perfect, turning all the way through the punch with his hip and torso, arcing wide with the arm, generating massive power when he throws it. The other benefit for Liam having such a great lead hook is it often knocks the opponent's weight onto their lead leg, leaving them unable to block a low kick, so he chains the two techniques together very well. Harrison also has a great left hook to the body, and he will often go lead hook to the head, which leads to his opponent expecting a low kick as the right hip is loaded, so they often lift the leg to block. He will then come down again to the body, giving a free shot before once again finishing with the leg kick. Once the leg is damaged, the opponent begins to premeditate the defence, constantly lifting it and standing on one leg to block. This is where Harrison can put his combinations together best. Left to the head and left hook to the body are money punches for him.
A game changer.
Yeah, they are.
He let him know that hurt.
The sweeps are another prevalent part of Harrison's game. Not only do they score high in Muay Thai, it is very disheartening to have to keep picking yourself up from the canvas. As Harrison is very good at playing on the back foot, picking his opponents to pieces, the sweeps can often lead to his opponents trying to force the action, which plays into the hands of the counter fighter. When the opponent starts to feel like they are chasing a lead, it often causes them to rush in and make mistakes. This then ties in well with Harrison's clever use of the body lock, which works very well for him. Once he gets the body lock, he either goes for the dump, putting his opponent on the floor, or he takes the back, which again racks up points whilst causing further frustration. The body lock can be used to smother opponents' work and spoil the action, which which again causes further frustration, leading to more rushing in, overcommitting on shots. This tactic is combined well with Harrison's elbow game. With the leg damaged and after being swept a few times, they may feel like they'll have more success in close range, trying to land heavy hands or elbows to damage, while simultaneously being too close to be kicked in the leg. Harrison lures them in by creeping backwards onto the ropes, before quickly changing rhythm, lunging forward with an elbow, often catching them by surprise. Harrison can then smother the danger with his body locks, after potentially cutting or hurting the opponent with the elbow, and then he rinses and repeats, the back foot counter tactic. The last major element of Harrison's game is probably his left kick. The left kick is a great technique for orthodox versus orthodox matchups, as the kick comes across the open side of the body and can strike the liver, really taking the wind out of an opponent. It also has the benefit of neutralising the right hand of an opponent, the usually stronger punch of an orthodox fighter. In Muay Thai, the body kicks score highly, so it's a smart weapon to use for Harrison, as if nothing else, it can keep him ahead on the scorecards. It also ties in very well with the right low kick, as it knocks the opponent onto their lead leg or causes them to stand on their lead leg to block with the back leg, leaving their lead leg vulnerable to attack. It is a weapon that nicely ties Harrison's techniques together, and something he uses very well against aggressive come forward fighters to quickly score points as they charge in, and he can stay ahead on the scorecards. A great example of this was seen in his fight with Tetsuya Yamato and his rematch with the legendary Thai Anuwat Kaewsamrit. Liam made good adjustments in his fight with Yamato, as Yamato proved durable and he got through some horrendous low kicks in round 1 and 2 and started to come on strong from the third with forward pressure. Liam was cut open and he opted to play it smart, left kicking Tetsuya to the body and craftily taking his back. These are big scores in Muay Thai. In the rematch with Anuwat, where Liam had been stopped in the first encounter by low kicks, him and his team had strategised a brilliant game plan which heavily utilised a left high kick. This made Anuwat more wary about throwing his right hand while scoring big points for Liam. It was a vintage Hitman performance, showing his versatile skill set against an elite. The reason Harrison has been able to stay on top for so long is he has a very well-rounded arsenal of attacks, combined with a solid defensive game and very good fight IQ. It may seem like he is just a heavy hitting banger from watching the highlights, but he is a technician. With him coming from a great stable and bad company gym, consistently producing good fighters, combined with his determination to succeed and a solid skill set, great timing and understanding of Muay Thai, the Hitman has all the ingredients that make up a champion. Once again, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe and share. You can also support the channel via Patreon, the link will be in the bio. Thanks again from Pro Striking.